Hello, my name is Jashan and you are coming back to the channel The Australian Academy. Now today I am presenting another one of the important cue cards, that is, describe something you bought that was difficult to use at first. Now whenever you read the cue card topic, you have to make sure that you're fetching the tense. Now the tense in here is was. So was is the past tense. So make sure that everything that you're speaking is falling in the past tense. And the questions are, what was that thing, when and from where did you buy it, why was it difficult to use initially, and how did you handle it. So whenever you're going to form your speaking, just make sure that you're covering all these 4 questions. And before answering, you will have to come up with an introduction for this. Now, because today's cue card is about something that you've used, it's better we talk about some technological equipment because many times they are quite complex for us to use. So if we are coming up with a technological advancement, you have to talk about technology and its role. So we can start off by pinpointing by saying that the advancement in technology is leading to new inventions which are introducing the modern products. You can name them such as phone, microwaves, vacuum cleaners and so forth. Being a tech savvy person, I always am fond of updating my household equipments and products. Now once the listener listens to this, he knows that yes, he is going to hear about some technological product and something that you have bought. Now being a tech savvy person, the listener will have an idea that yes, you know how to use the electronical equipment, but because the question here is something difficult, so this is going to be an exceptional case for us. Once we have given the introduction, we are going to move on. We are going to target one of the chosen questions. So you can say that usually I do not face any problem with such equipments, but yes, I remember one time when I did. So now the person knows that you're going to answer some of the chosen questions. The incident about last Sunday, or you can say last Sunday, I paid a visit to my nearby departmental store. And there I was taking a stroll around when I was enticed by an induction stove. So when you're giving this piece of information, the person knows where and when did you come across this. That is last Sunday in the departmental store in your neighborhood. And you got enticed, you got interested by the induction stove, and the reason why you got enticed is that it promised convenience. It had a label, you can talk about that, or the advertisement. There was a seller who promised that this product will give you convenience in your cooking. Your work got busy, you bought it, and after that you left it untouched for days. Now this is some piece of extra information that you can put in, or you can just say that directly I went home and I was excited, I unboxed it and I started using it. So then we'll move on to the next set of answers for the questions. Because we have left it there, the person knows that yes, you bought it fresh, you were not able to use it. So probably the problem will be created in the following days. So one day the curiosity got the best of me. So you were curious and now you started trying how to use that. So you tried using it, you plugged it, you switched on all the switches, you pressed them all, but in vain. It was not working even after doing so. You read the manual even, but then also you were not able to comprehend the manual because it was complex, thus not making you use it. It wasn't working because it was a complex procedure. Now you can state some steps that were there in the manual. You can say the manual required you to press 5 buttons simultaneously or one after the other, and you were just not able to track the buttons. It depends on your explanation thoroughly. Until this point, we have covered the first question, induction stove. Second question, Sunday departmental store. Why was it difficult initially? Because it was a complex procedure. And we have also answered these along with their explanations. Now we'll move on to the fourth question, that is how did you tackle it? And we will help this answer to also convert itself into a conclusion. You'll say that you realized that you needed some extra equipment for it to function well. You decoded the use of all the buttons, which was initially difficult for you to do even after reading the manual, and you realized that this induction or this piece of electronic equipment was not a piece of cake for you. Why have we made this statement? Because initially you've told the person that you're a tech savvy person. So in here the contradiction starts coming in. So after doing this, it started working, and after this, you have told how you tackled it. Now we'll move on to our conclusion, and you'll say that you realize that some things are more complex than they seem, especially when it comes to electronical equipments, and this was the only time when it took you so long to comprehend or to use the product properly. So in this type of formulation of answers, what we have done, we have told the person that you were an expert in the region, in the area of technological advancement and uses of that. But then once this incident happened, you realize that not everything is going to be a piece of cake for you. In this way, try using more of idioms, see the suitability of idioms and vocab words, and help formulate your speaking along with heavy dosage of vocab words. Alright, now moving on to the third round that we have, that's the follow-up questions. In this round, you will face some questions from the examiner, and these questions will be based on the topic on which you've just recently given your speaking on. Now, when you were talking about your new technological invention that you've found difficult initially, the examiner will put up questions based on the content that you've just delivered to him. Now, looking at the questions, the first question reads, why is it important to face difficulties? Now, this questions is for the set of questions are formed out of the difficulty of the product that you used. Now, in order to answer this question, you have to tell the different reasons for which it becomes quite essential to face difficulties. You can say that it is necessary to face obstacles. Now, in here we are using obstacle word as a replacement for difficulties, in order to know the value of easy times that one has had in their life. Now, whenever you will see and notice that in these type of third round questions, no question will be based on you. The examiner is not going to put you into the question. So also see that as a part of your answer, you're not saying I or me. So first person pronouns will be prohibited. Difficulties and challenges give experience, and they make a person wise and strong. Now, in these type of questions, then again, try to extend your answer and try that you're speaking more. Your reasons need to be more. Coming on to the second question that reads, should we help people in time of distress or leave them on their own? Now, this question is giving us two different set of opinions. First is helping the people out, and the second is leaving them alone. So for these type of questions, there is no right or wrong answer. The only point is you have to either go with the first statement or the later statement and justify them thoroughly. So in order to know how you can talk about both of these opinions, I have formed answer for both the sides. The first side, which states as to why we should help people who are in difficult times, the answer can be formed in such a way. One should always or all the time help the people or the needy people, because they are not well equipped with the resources that will help them to survive the challenging times. Also, good deeds come around and it blesses the person. So in this type of answer, I have given reasons to the examiner as to why we should help people. Second set of answer is for the latter side. The people should be left to themselves because it is their own challenge to fight, and after fighting this alone, they will emerge victorious, and this in turn will help them to learn the valuable lesson. So yes, people should be left to themselves to have their own fights. Both the reasons are for both the sides. Coming on to the third question, it reads, what can be learned from challenges? Now, a person is facing challenges. You, me, we all face challenges in our day-to-day life. Some are small, some are big. What is the general value that we learn from challenges? Challenges are quite essential. Obviously, they are. And it teaches people valuable lessons such as not to take things for granted, to express gratitude, always be thankful for the things that we have, and never to lose hope in times of distress. It also is quite essential for the people to suffer because it makes them confident and self-sufficient. Obviously, when a person goes through challenges, they are self-sufficient. They know that they have the skills to survive that difficult time on their own. So these type of lessons can be learned. Whichever lesson that comes to your mind, if just in case one or two lessons come to your mind, try to expand them. Because in this type, I have just given plenty number of lessons that we learn from challenges. Coming on to the fourth question, it reads, is the grey population able to cope up with the technological advancements or not? Now, yet again, just like the second question read, yet again you have two sides of opinions. You can say yes, that they are able to cope up. You can say no, they're not able to cope up. But what about times when we want to talk about both the things? In those times, your answer will almost be the way that this answer is formed. So you will say that old people have lived in the times when the technological interference was minimal. So we're going to tell people that the old people are not that openly acceptable when it comes to technological use. So as a matter of fact, the difficult and the challenging notions are there regarding the technologically equipped things that the old people have to use. So what are they going to do? But with the correct and the timely guidance that they will receive, they will very well be able to cope up with the technological lags or the technological advances that are taking place. So in this type of question, we have told the person the previous part why the old are not able to use technology and how else they can use technology. Be whatever the type of answer that you're giving, be it one-sided, be it two-sided, be it one or two reasons, multiple reasons, or explanation of one important fact. The point is that your answers need to be lengthy, they need to be justifying, and try that your synonyms are being in use. Also, you can use idioms because in speaking, idioms portray your ideas really beautifully. But yes, try the avoidance of repetition of words. I hope the cue cards solution and the solution for these follow-up questions will help you in the next further attempt of cue cards that you will be doing alone. Thank you.